is Diana Gilmore, and today we will be discussing the detriments of the North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, in Mexico. In a few moments I will introduce Leticia, a young milk farmer who has been personally affected by NAFTA. But before we bring our guest out, I would like to speak a little bit about NAFTA and its policies regarding the dairy industry. The 2002 Farm Act extended agricultural subsidies for the third time until 2007. The Act provided approximately $16.5 billion of funding for agricultural subsidies each year. By subsidizing the dairy industry, the U.S. government contradicts the NAFTA agreement. The impact of NAFTA and other international agreements in combination with the United States agricultural subsidies expel millions of Mexicans and other rural workers from their countries of origin into the United States every year. Leticia and her family were affected by this. I'm here with Leticia in the studio. Hi, Leticia.
Hi. Thank you for having me on the show.
So, tell us a bit about why you moved to the United States from Mexico.
Well, in 2004, my family and I were forced to move to the United States due to the downfall of our small dairy farm. You see, my father and I used to lease a small piece of land where we had our farm, and Nestle Waters would come pick up our milk each week.
So what went wrong?
Well, the Nestle trucks used to come pick it up and take it to the factory every week, but with the NAFTA agreement, they lifted dairy tariffs for trade with Mexico, which motivated the United States to focus on exporting their own milk at lower prices.
Wow. So how did that affect your farm?
Well, as a result, Nestle started being inconsistent with weekly pickups, and several times the milk got spoiled because of lack of transportation.
What happened next?
Well, as I said before, my family and I could no longer afford our small dairy farm, so we were forced to move here to Los Angeles.
An estimated 2.3 million people have left agriculture in a country desperate for livelihoods like Leticia and her family. Mexico was flooded with agricultural imports exported at prices below production costs. This resulted in Mexican producers' prices falling from 44% to 67% from the early 90s levels. This declined local production and increased import dependency. Mexican crop production also fell except for corn and meats, which at lower prices were rapidly adopted for consumption in the Mexican families' diets. More specifically, in the dairy industry, the Milk Income Loss Contract, or MILC, provides direct payments to producers on certain products when the actual price falls below the target level of the national base price. The U.S. also carried out another provision, the Dairy Export Incentive Program, or DEIP, which pays cash bonuses to dairy product exporters when U.S. prices are higher than international prices. This allows them to sell at lower prices abroad instead of forcing conditions of competitiveness in the U.S., the real concept behind the idea of free markets. The 1994 NAFTA agreement removed all dairy tariffs for trade with Mexico. However, Canada excluded dairy products from their portion of the NAFTA agreement, and as a result, Canada's dairy industry is flourishing. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Diana Gilmore, and this is